welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you my updated version of Gravekeepers. So I've been working quite a bit with this deck. It's one of my favourite decks just for nostalgia reasons and stuff like that. And the fact that Necro Valley is extremely good, especially against Outrage and stuff like that, if you can get the protection on board. As you can see, we play Dragoon in this deck, but not in the way you actually think. We don't play Red Eyes Fusion and we don't play Dark Magician and stuff. I felt like the deck with those added 3 bricks just weren't good enough, because we do have to run free field spells and stuff like that, and we do have a very small monster count. So I'll get into the deck profile and you can see what things I've played around with and stuff. This, I'll tell you right now, this isn't the fully completed build. I just thought I'd let you see what I've been working with and see what we could come up with together. So it's like a little project type thing, because any information, any thoughts to help the deck and just make it better, because it's one of those decks that falls in and out relevancy in terms of playability. But this is an extremely long intro, so let's just get into the deck profile. So we play 3 Commandant. So this is basically the terraformer of the deck. You can discard him and then add a Necro Valley from your deck to your hand. So I feel like he's a mandatory free off. The only annoying thing is he's an Earth. So this is why we don't play Gozen match. Because if he's your only Gravekeeper, then you're locking yourself out with hidden temples and stuff like that. So it was a bit awkward. Gozen matches is really good just now, but these are part and parcel. We play 3 Spiritualists, so she is basically the fusion spell of the deck, and she's got quite decent stats. But you have to have Necro Valley on the field to be able to use our fusion summon ability. So you need to make sure that you can get the fusion Necro Valley into your hand. Then we play 3 Gravekeeper Recruiter. So he's just another name. This card will be so much better when I think they're called Magius Link Monster comes out, because we can't get him off the field with a Link Monster, because Almirage is 1,000 or less. Link Karibo is level 1, so he is quite annoying to actually have on the field. He's just better being able just to attack into something, get him away, and then add something better to your hand. And then if you've got the rotor of the deck, names eluding me now, then it makes it easier just to normal summon the other card and start playing away from there. But that's not optimal, to be honest. The best thing is he can be a beat stick, and then when he leaves the field he replaces himself with another card in hand. So, and then we only play the 1 Headman. So Headman for me is such a weird card, it's so annoying. You know, he can bring back a monster and stuff like that, but I don't feel like we get much value from him. I can see why you would want to play multiples and stuff, just get more board presence on the field and stuff, but I just feel like Headman's just the worst of them all. Compared to like the higher level ones and Spy. I don't play Spy. I think Spy is just super slow, and I can't merit playing Spy, especially in such a fast like meta and stuff like that. So that's the reason why we don't play Spy. So that is all the Gravekeeper monsters. So there isn't actually that many that we play, but there is good reason that we play a very limited number. Hand trap wise, we play 3 Gamma, 1 Driver, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. So these are probably the best hand traps like in the game right now. We don't play Ash because I don't want Ash Blossom in my hand, depending on some of the cards that we play. But Gamma is super good. Like Gamma and say for instance Commandant is, so these 3 cards here make Dragoon. No Verte Anaconda, no what's that called, Red Eye Fusion. So we are playing a total different way, and I'll give you the full lowdown when we get into the extra deck. So they are the hand traps. And Infinite Intelligence is extremely good. Going first, going second, you can just set it, block off some floodgates and stuff like that, so really like impermanence. One of the spells, Heart and Soul of the deck. Without this card, nothing works. Like genuinely, this card is good on its own because it can hinder so many matchups just because they can't activate them in the grave, they cannot move themselves and stuff. This is a problem for so many decks, and that's why we can still have relevancy with this deck. It's just solely on this card. Previously I was playing a Terraforming as well, but I feel like this deck I built currently plows through so many draws, so we do have a higher chance of seeing this. So 3 Necro Valley. I play 2 Thrones, just because we do draw so much. You'll see the draw power we actually have in this deck. I feel like 2 Thrones is really good. 3 is just a wee bit too bricky, and the fact that you can only activate 1 per turn is a bit meh. I wish the effect was both effects when you activate it, but it's not. It's just one or the other. So that's why we only play Thrones, but it is just technically 2 more copies of every Gravekeeper that we've got in the deck. Then we play one of the best cards in the deck, Hidden Temples in Necro Valley. So if you have a Gravekeeper monster and you have Necro Valley on the field, your opponent cannot special summon, and you can't special summon except Gravekeeper monsters as well, but that's not a big deal. But if either or leaves the field, be it the Gravekeeper, be it the Necro Valley, then it destroys itself. So it's extremely good, and it does have its downside, but it's very fair and balanced. I don't play 3 because you need to have Necro Valley and a monster, so that's the thing with this deck. You have so many good cards, but it all revolves around having a Gravekeeper, having Necro Valley, and having a bit more protection around the Necro Valley or the monsters. So that's why we only play doubles and singles and stuff, because I would rather just be able to guarantee that we will have the ability to play these cards. Then I'll probably get crucified for this. We only play 1 Royal Tribute. Lots of decks actually gain a lot of advantage from having monsters in the graveyard. We don't have a high monster count, but the only one that we really don't want to hit the graveyard is Gamma. But that's no really a big deal. Excuse me. It's so good. Like in theory, it's so good. Get about the hand traps and stuff like that, but the way this deck plays, you want to get ashed. So Ash is the best friend of this deck. Like weirdly enough, it is the best friend of this deck. So that's why we don't really want them to dump their monsters, because they can gain more advantage than it can help them more than it can help yourself, if you know what I mean. But that's my take on it. You can side 2 extra copies. Like that to me sounds perfect. Just side them in for whatever matchup you're going against. If you know for a fact they can't use the graveyard abilities, 100% Royal Tribute. So then we play the 1 Gravekeeper Stele. Not too sure what that was pronounced last bit, but this is just basically add up to 2 Gravekeeper monsters in the graveyard. Add it to the hand. No, target 2, high speed 2. Sorry. It just recycles your Gravekeepers and just keeps your hand loaded up. So that's good. Now draw power. 2 Pot Extravagance, 1 Pot Duality, 1 Into the Void, and 1 Upstart Goblin. So it's extremely weird, this whole setup, because I know consistency freaks will be going 3 Pot Desires, 2 Portage Duality. You know, that was the ratio that I would play in like an old Autogeist build and stuff like that. But I wanted another draw card. Like, we need the extra deck, but we can't play Pot Desires because we play so many one-offs, and if we lose the driver, we lose access to the Dragoon, stuff like that. So I felt like Upstart and Into the Void were a lot better, just because of free draws. That's all they are. And Pot Duality, if you're in a really sticky situation, you have no real way of special summoning, and you just really need to get a monster, really need to get Necro Valley, one of those. Pot Duality is so good. So that's why I play this 5-card draw engine, whatever you want to call it. But I just feel like it works better. I think it's more balanced because you'll see one of these and then draw into this or this and then draw into other pieces. It just all works out so much better. Yeah, the only downside 100% is Into the Void, with having to discard your entire hand. If you have the Gamma in the hand, then it can be quite annoying, but that's the risk that we've got to take, and that's why I felt this over Card of Demise. Card of Demise is so good, but it's just one of those ones. If you want to play Card of Demise over this, I just feel like we lose a wee bit more in terms of like, trying to get a Gamma and stuff like that. But it's 100% do you and go with Card of Demise. You know, basically as I'm doing this, I'm convincing myself Card of Demise is better. But currently, I've chose Into the Void, and I'm sticking with it just now. Then we play 2 Super Polys, so we don't really care about the extra deck, like, let's be honest. And having so many Super Poly targets is always good. It's never going to hinder us. You can double up on lots of Super Poly targets. I've only put the singles just as examples because your meta is going to be different from mine, your locals and stuff. Super Poly is extremely good, especially if your opponent ends on Verte Anaconda and Dragoon. Like, this is the main out to it. We can play Ice Barrier, not Ice Barrier, Ice Dragon, because it requires movement in the graveyard, so that's why we play the 2 Super Poly. I play the 3rd in the side deck. We currently don't have the side deck ready, but if you want to see a side deck, I'll happily make another video. And if we make any updates to the build, I'll just add the quick updates in. On to the traps. We play 1 Imperial Tomb of the Necro Valley. It's searchable off of a Spiritualist, a Supernaturalist, sorry. Couldn't remember his name, that was annoying. It's got too many requirements, if I'm honest. Having to have a Gravekeeper, having to have Necro Valley. So that's why I don't play multiples, because if you don't see things, or things get popped, then it obviously turns it off. And having it turned off to save a Necro Valley just means that they get an extra advantage, because obviously they can start playing the way things go into Phoenix and stuff like that, which isn't going to be good. So that's why we only play the 1 Tombs. It is really good because it's spells, traps and monster effects. Then we play the 1 Temple. It just recycles your Necro Valley, and also it means when you've got Necro Valley and any Gravekeeper monster, there is mathematically 1,000 attack points of a difference, or defense points, whatever. Because this makes them lose 500 and you gain 500 from the Necro Valley. So it helps in battles and stuff like that, and it's just an added protection onto the Necro Valley. Then we play the 1 Rite of Spirit. It's just basically Call of the Haunted. Sorry, it's really late now. So it's just basically Call of the Haunted. And it just helps us bring back like Supernaturalist. It brings back your Spiritualist if you draw into a Headman or a Recruiter. Then if you draw into the Recruiter, then use this to bring back the Spiritualist. You get the Search as well, so it works out. I only play 1 of it because we do draw so much, and I think we gain a lot of advantage in the deck naturally. So, and then Solemn package, 2 judgment, 2 strike. I just feel like this is really nice for this. This current build. Obviously, having tombs, it's like having a third copy of either one of them, which is good. And I just feel like that's really good backup, really good protection, in terms of like Harpy Feather Dust or Lightning Storm, added hand traps that you weren't really expecting, or special summon of the Verte Anaconda and stuff like that. So that is the main deck. So extra deck, actually I'll do these now. We play 2 Supernaturalist. He's basically the main Gravekeeper boss monster. He's really good. The only annoying thing is, I said in my last video, is the fact that he searches during the end phase. It's so annoying. Like, you could, like, what's this going to actually do? Like, being able to be set and stuff like that. You're not going to gain that much advantage versus like proper meta. So that is the main downside of this card. And the only thing that I really don't like about this card. We play the one Omega just because of Gamma and stuff, and we can rip a card from their hand and recycle things and whatnot. Fusion for super poly targets. We play all of these, so you can double up on any ones that you have access to. Be if you've got heroes in your meta. Trinity's really good. Mud Dragon's really generic, so is Starving Venom. The Pred Plant Monster, these are so interchangeable. You can change them to whatever you want. You can have doubles of these, double of these, and then put in Phoenix and Cerberus and stuff. But that is totally down to you and what is in your area. So now we go on the access of this boy, Dragoon. So we play 2 Imduk and 2 Muddy Dragon. So as I was saying, I'll get on now. Say you activate, don't know, Thrones, something like that. You Gamma the Rash, you get Driver, and then you normal summon your Commandant. You link away the Driver into the Imduk, and then you Synchro Shogun into Muddy Dragon. So Muddy Dragon's effect, if you don't know what this card does, like, I don't blame you for not knowing what this card does. If you can target one of your fusion monsters in your extra deck, and it copies the name of that, the specific name of one card listed on the text. So it can copy Dark Magician, it can copy Red Eyes, and then you must have access to a monster you control that is the same material. It has to be the exact material for the summon requirement. A dragon, that's it. So it's Red Eyes or Dark Magician and 1 dragon. That's all you need, and you can get Dragoon. And once you've done that, this tells you you have the fusion summon. Fuses away, you can get a Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon. So the only downside about not using like Red Eyes fusion and stuff like that is the fact that you can't do a double pop burn thing on your turn. But saying that, Dragoon is just really annoying to out, and he's a negate. That's what you want him for. The burn is really nice. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is really good to be able to burn people and then attack for gain and stuff like that. But in this deck, it was too bricky for me personally. From what I've seen, it was too bricky to be able to have the Red Eye fusion and stuff. So that's why I opted for this build. You know, we didn't really lose anything playing it in this way, like just adding these cards into the extra deck. We didn't lose anything because it was just going to be super poly targets and maybe some nightmares and stuff like that. And just having these, like just these 2 cards and something that was going to help you search anyway or draw, then you get a Dark Magician, a Dragoon from it. So I just thought that was a smarter way, like in a slow paced deck like this, than having a Red Eyes fusion, because it's that's my theory on it, and that's the way that I've been playing the deck. It's worked out quite well. You know, people just don't expect it. They're expecting this get Red X Fusion, your Verte Honda and stuff like that. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below, because I'm really interested to see what you think, if there's a quicker way of doing this and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the deck profile, everyone. I hope you did enjoy it, because I've been really trying hard with this deck, because I felt like my previous build was still like really good, but I just needed a bit of spice, something a wee bit different, and I feel like I did get it with this deck. So please let me know what you think. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, please think about hitting that subscribe button, because it does help the channel, and it does make me want to do a lot more profiles in the future. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Peace.